Because I think you can mention about depression and anxiety. Where do we draw the line? What are the symptoms for both?
Yeah, depression and anxiety share common characteristics or common symptoms. You'll come and realize that, but the distinguishing factor between depression and anxiety is that with the depression you tend to feel a lot of hopelessness.
Okay.
That is with the depression. You just get to a point whereby you don't have interest. You lose interest in things that you used to find pleasure. And but you come and realize that with anxiety, you don't experience hopelessness. You see, so that is the most distinguishing factor between depression and anxiety. But the rest of the symptoms, most of the time, they are almost the same. You come and realize that people who experience insomnia, both with anxiety and
But I thought insomnia
depression.
was like a mental disorder on its own, but it comes as a result of depression as well.
Most of the time, it is a symptom. Yeah.
Okay.
Though we have sleep disorder in its own, difference.
A sleep disorder.
A sleep disorder, yes. So you come and realize that those things, symptoms, like I've said, such as like insomnia, you realize that this person cannot sleep. Sometimes it is now hypersomnia. They tend to sleep a lot.
Do I have that?
And let me tell you, that sleep never gets finished. It's never. You will sleep and sleep and sleep.
Really?
Wake up, still feel so fatigued.
Yes.
Have no energy to do anything. You just go back to bed.
But I think at some point in life, every adult goes through the same. When we find maybe we are in a financial stress or maybe career is not doing well, we get to that. Things that you're trying to do, they're not coming up as well as you expected. So you get this hopelessness feeling, but at what point do we now term it as depression? Because how long does it have to go on for?
With depression, using the DSM criteria, we have different types of depression. So you come and realize, like, for instance, we have what we call the major depressive disorder. So with the major depressive disorder, it is a depression that has to consistently be there for at least 2 weeks. And for these 2 weeks, there are presenting symptoms that just must be there.
Okay.
So if those symptoms are there consistently for 2 weeks, like the hopelessness, you become lethargic or apathy. What it means, you don't have interest, you don't have energy, then loss of appetite, you are not eating. But there are some who now it is the reverse. When they're depressed, they eat
a lot.
Properly, seriously. I don't know for...
Now, me, I'm very happy. Mine, I really lost a lot of weight. In fact, even it's just this year that I kind of started gaining a bit. And the reason I started kind of gaining is because this has been my best year in terms of my health. So you see now, even when it comes to eating, I'm able to eat regularly. I was looking at a photo of mine the other day, 2017, I was skinny. And then the worst thing is, it was that skinny of unaona huyu mtu ni mgonjwa. And then I remember people used to be like, oh my God, you've lost so much weight, blah, blah, blah. And then I used to be like, it's not a nice thing because I've not lost weight because of me wanting to, but it's now this condition. So I can't eat. Let me tell you, it does not matter what I do, I just cannot eat. So for mine now, it's the opposite of loss of appetite and then losing weight. But of course, as a woman,
it was to your advantage.
It's my advantage.
Yeah, so there are those symptoms that once they present for a duration of time, then you can come and say you have this type of depression. And then there are those people who sometimes you realize they have been depressed chronically for even like 2 years. It is just persistent. It doesn't seem to go away. So in that also we have a condition known as dysthymia. Dysthymia is that, it's chronic depression. It doesn't just go away, you see. So, but there is this just normal daily stress, whereby it's just mild. You got a setback, you are there, you've gone down for some time, and then you just wake up and then it disappears.
I've been misusing the word depression because when we get those setbacks, aki niko na depression,
Yes.
aki niko na anxiety. Because normally, you know, you get this, even before a show, I was even telling Waremi, before a show, you come and you get so nervous because of what are you going to deliver, and you have this anxiety feeling. But for you, Waremi, it was different. So maybe talk about the anxiety.
Okay, so you know the feeling that you get when you're anxious?
Yes.
So you kind of feel like you're trembling, maybe you'll feel butterflies in your stomach, maybe you'll feel, so for me, like now what happens, now when it gets now to the now extreme, is I start having dizzy spells, right? Suddenly I'll just start having dizzy spells. The trembling, in fact, even, okay, I know the camera won't be able to get this, but Doc, you can see, like, this is how I constantly, because of high anxiety, I constantly shake. Then the last year was my worst year in terms of anxiety. And maybe Doc, now you can also help me further on this one. I was not able to do anything. I was not, and I'm not lying to you, I was not able to do anything. So my life from February of last year to February of this year, because that's when now it started lifting, the anxiety kind of reduced, I was home, hospital, home, hospital, home, hospital. We tried changing the medications, we tried everything, we tried the therapy, and I was just not getting better, you know. Leaving the house. Leaving the house is a production. Let me tell you, even today, I wake up, I'm like, how am I feeling?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not too sure. I'm feeling like I'm always feeling imbalanced 24/7, you know, because of now that condition. And that's why now I also like became a mental health advocate, because you see there are the basic symptoms, trembling, shaking, maybe lack of appetite, brain fog, for memory loss. In fact, like my memory for whole of last year, the same thing. I had no memory. Like I would call you in the morning. I've called you in the morning. We've talked. Nice long phone call. Then in the evening or in the afternoon, I'll call you and be like,
"You forgot it.
Where have you tupared me like this?" And the person is like, Or I could read. I was doing my masters, but then, and you see, these are some of the things I talk about. But then I had to be discontinued because I couldn't meet the exam deadlines. I couldn't read what was required, you know, and that was very, very painful. So the anxiety, when you asked what's the difference from the normal anxiety and this other anxiety, it's debilitating. You can't do anything. Like now I can't drive anymore, you know. Imagine I can't drive. So it's like I just can't drive. So there are so many things that you can't do. The same energy that I used to have. I've always been a high achiever. I've always been a perfectionist. I started doing very well from when I was from my first job actually, like I remember I was actually being paid above market rate, and I was able to do that. So there are all these things, but now I can't do them anymore. And then let me just quickly go back to the thing of the leaving the house. You know, you get out of bed, go, maybe drink water, brush your teeth, figure out what you're going to wear, blah, blah, blah. But now for me, let me not say about other people, maybe some people, it's you wake up and you're like, okay, I feel okay. Then like, okay, let me shower. Come out of the shower. Should I really go? Should I really go?
Okay.
You know, should I really go? Because sometimes what will happen is, I may go somewhere, I get an anxiety attack.
So at least today we are lucky to have you.
Yes, today you're very lucky.